Good morning, it is Saturday the 31st of May. It's just coming up to 11 o'clock. So this morning, a little bit of a mixed one. I'm heading off now to do a private job, collecting from Manchester Airport and then taking them back to Southport. There's 2 drops around Southport. So yeah, I've just checked, they are delayed by about 20 minutes, so I'm setting off a little bit later. Yeah, so I'm picking them up for about 12:30, be back in Southport for about 1:30, and then I'll be going on Uber because I haven't got any other bookings for today. So yeah, I will give you a little update once I've dropped them off, and we'll see what's happening around Southport. So it's just turned, well, it's just coming up to 3:30. I'm going to be starting an Uber shift shortly. The other job was a little bit, the private job lasted a little bit longer than I thought. They were delayed. I can't even remember what time she got out now. I think they were due around 12, and then yeah, it was after 1. I think she messaged just after 1 o'clock, about 1:15, to say they were done. So yeah, headed over to pick them up. The little road now where you get to Terminal 2 has changed. Used to be like a little cut through there, so that's closed now and it's opened up around the corner. So basically I drove past that. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. It was a bit of a pain before it. BP leave customers in the lurch. So as you may or may not know, obviously if you drive for Uber you can sign up, get a bit of a promotion. I don't know if it's still running. I think you had to have signed up for it before March or May or something. And you get your £750 worth of free credit, £250 a month for charging your car up. So anyway, long story short, I'm only a month into using it. So I got the end of month statement, it must have been about 10 days ago, saying that it gives you a full breakdown of everything you've used, the cost and everything. It then says, so your balance to pay was like £43. So basically I've used nearly £300 of electric. Now that's way more than what I would normally use. The reason I've used so much is because I've been topping up and basically going home with like a full tank, so I don't have to top up at home. Now I know it's only cheap at home, because even if I topped up every single night at home, it's going to cost me like £90 for the month, but I don't top up that much at home. But like I said, I would do a bit of a shift, and even if I didn't need it after like a private job, I would go and charge up because it's free. You know, basically Uber's covering the cost, or BP. I don't know whoever's paying for it. So yeah, obviously the costs were, I've used more than what I normally would. So anyway, the outstanding balance was like £42, something like that. So they send you an email just to say, here's your monthly breakdown. We'll be collecting the balance in, I think it's like 3 to 4 days, so they give you a bit of notice. So I emailed them straight back and I said, I've changed my bank account. I said, so can I change my bank details? I've had a good look on the app and there's nowhere on there for you to change your bank account details. So anyway, I just got ignored. So I thought, well, I'll leave you to it. So I left it another couple of days, nothing. Emailed again, explaining it, and then they come back to me and they said, unfortunately you can't change your bank details on the app, and you can't change them whatsoever. So the only way to change your bank details is you need to cancel your direct debit, you need to delete your BP account, and you need to re-register and start a new account and a new subscription. I thought, that doesn't sound right. So I emailed back and said, I can't do that. I said, because I've still got another 2 months of the Uber credit. So if I close my account now, I'm going to lose £500 of Uber credit. So what can I do? Surely you can change your bank account details. So then when you email back, even though the person's name is at the bottom, it just goes into the general inbox. So a different person then emails you back. And then I got an email back to say, oh yeah, unfortunately at this time, there isn't an option to change your bank details, so you have to close your account and open a new one. So I messaged back saying, did you not read the previous conversation? I can't do that because I will lose £500. So how would you like payment? Can I phone up? Can I pay over the phone? Can you send me a link? Can I send you a transfer? How would you like your money? You tell me how you want your money. So then a message comes back after that, like a day later or something. What bank or what's your bank details you'd like to change it to? So I sent my bank details over. Because I've set up a new account, obviously for my airport transfer side of things. So I just want all my Uber stuff going to that as well, because it's all basically just classed as anything to do with driving. I wanted it to go into that because I didn't want my own personal accounts. I then didn't want another personal account that I'm using as a sole trader for Uber, and then another account for my executive airport transfer. So I just thought anything driving related, I'll have it all in that one business account. So I sent that over as requested, and then the next day I get another message back saying, yeah, you can't change your details. You need to close your account. And it was almost like a copy and paste, but it was changed ever so slightly, and obviously it was a different name each time. So I emailed back and I said, can you stop sending me these stupid copy paste responses and answer the question? I said, I owe you like 42 quid or whatever it is, and I need to pay it. I said, because if I don't pay it, you're either gonna like shut my account, or you'll add like a late payment fee, or I don't know, you might stick it against like a credit reference agency or something. Didn't get any response, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave them to it. I can't be arsed dealing with them. So anyway, I had a missed call, voicemail yesterday. It was when I was out doing my Ubering, and it was some woman saying, oh hi, I'm from BP, I'm one of the managers, I'm just calling up to deal with, like, you know, the ongoing issues that you're having. If you can just give me a call back, I'll drop you an email, and if you can just email back and give me a convenient time or date, or if you want to deal with it by email or phone, just let me know, and we'll get that sorted out for you. So there was no email, so I thought, well, I'm not going to phone them, because by the time I got home last night I was eating, watching a movie and whatnot, so I thought I'll phone them tomorrow. So anyway, I've got up to the airport today, which is a BP. I've pulled up, get the app out, go on charge, and it won't let you charge up. It comes up and it says, oh, you need to add money you need to top up your account so you can use it. So I was like, well, so it's as though like they haven't deactivated the account, because I can still log into my account, but they won't allow me to charge. It's as though they've like removed the Uber kind of like credit side of it. Let me just click on it, because normally you go on it and it says like profile. I'm sure it used to say somewhere, it was like at the bottom or something like that, it used to say like your account. It said like Uber, I'm sure it was something like that. Personal information, I'm sure it used to say somewhere on there. Subscribe and save, no. Settings, no, I can't remember. It definitely used to say it on there anyway. So anyway, it wouldn't work, so I phoned them up. I had to explain all that to the guy on the phone, and he was like, all right, okay, let me have a look. So he was like, he said, yeah, so the only option we have is for you to close your account, and you need to set up a new one. And I was like, I've just explained to you, I can't do that, because then I can't reactivate the Uber free credits, because it'll say you've already had that offer. So basically, you're trying to force me to lose £500 of credit. It's as though you've made this deal with Uber to try and get tens of thousands of Uber drivers to use BP, and now you're trying to backpedal, and you're thinking, oh bloody hell, we don't want to give this much credit out now. So he was like, the woman who phoned you yesterday, because he can see everything's all been logged. He said the woman who left a voicemail yesterday, she was one of the managers, and what she's able to do is send you out a payment link via email, and you're then able to pay the outstanding balance. So I said, all right. I said, well, I've been chasing you for 10 days, so why didn't someone just say that? Instead, everybody has been telling me to close my account. Someone could have just said, I'll tell you what, I'll pass this straight over to our manager, they'll send you a link and you can pay for it, jobs are good. And I said, so like, it's as though none of the members of staff know how that works, like you haven't been trained correctly. And he was like, yeah, I haven't got the authorization to send you out the link, and the woman who you spoke to, she's not in until Monday now. So I said, well, let me speak to another manager then. So he said, right, I've just sent a message to the other manager, they'll phone you back. I said, no, that's not good enough. I said, I've come to a BP charging point now to charge up, and my account's not working. I said, so what do I do? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm picking a customer up from the airport in like 20-25 minutes. I need to charge you. I said, I've got no money on me. My only option is to use my BP card, and you've deactivated it. I said, so what do I do? And he's like, let me try and phone through to the manager. I'll chase him now. So he puts me on hold. He tries phoning through. He comes back. Oh no, I can't get hold of him. So basically, he's obviously explained to the guy, because he was gone for like 4 or 5 minutes. It doesn't take that long to phone somebody. He's obviously explained it to the other guy, and he's thought, I can't be arsed dealing with that. So he comes back on. He said, oh, I can't get hold of him. He said, oh yeah, and then he had more information. So it's as though he has spoken to this other guy, and the other guy didn't want to come on the phone. So he said, oh yeah, the issue is, he said, even if they do manage to send you over that payment link now, and you pay that £42 or whatever it is, we then need to check with the accounts department to make sure that that money is cleared before basically they can flick it back on. He said, and the accounts department don't work over weekend. So I said, so even if I pay that money now, which you can't do because there's no manager to send me the link, you still can't reactivate my Uber credit until next week. And he was like, yeah. So I said, right, okay. I said, so that's one kind of problem resolved, so to speak, until next week. I said, but what do I do now? I mean, at the end of the day, I've got money to top my car up. It's not an issue, and I still had over half a tank. But I'm trying to emphasise the fact to him, I'm here now. You've put me in this situation. What are you going to do to get me out of this situation? And his response was, you'll have to organise to have your vehicle recovered. So I've told him that I'm there, I'm stranded, I've got no money, they've deactivated my Uber credit, so what do you want me to do? You know, he could have said, you know, I'll try and get that link sorted over, or I'll speak to the manager and try and sort it, or as like a gesture of goodwill, we can stick £5 or £10 or whatever onto your Uber account, so at least you're not stranded. Just anything, you know, to try and resolve the situation. And he was like, yeah, you just have to arrange recovery of your vehicle. So I was like, right. I said, well, I want to open this as a complaint now. I said, because all the other members of staff have basically been idiots. They've been telling me to close the account when you don't have to close the account. You need to request a payment link to be sent via a manager. I said, you can't do anything, so it's completely pointless you even being here now on the phone. What's the point in having a customer services who can't actually do anything? They basically say you need to speak to a manager, but there's no managers to speak to, and then they need to speak to the accounts team, but there's no accounts team to speak to. So it's completely pointless him having a job. So he's raised that as a complaint anyway, and that was basically it. So just be wary that if you have got any sort of Uber credit or anything like that, or just a BP account, you cannot change your bank account details for your direct debit. You have to completely close your account, basically remove everything from the app, and then start up a whole new account and put all of your information in again and new bank details. It's ridiculous. Like, you'd expect that from some little small Mickey Mouse company. It's BP. How can you not? Imagine you phoned your bank and you said to the bank, I've changed my bank details, so how do I pay my mortgage this month? And they go, ooh, you can't change your bank details. And you'd say, all right, then I can never pay you the mortgage ever again because you're refusing to accept new bank details. They're not going to turn around to you and say, yeah, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to sell your house and then take out a new mortgage and then set it all up again. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's just a really stupid, can't be arsed attitude that they've got. So anyway, long story short, I basically just topped up the Uber app. I think I stuck like £20 on there, and then went on charge. I think I used about £15-16, and then at the end of that, which I'll be adding on to the complaint as well, so even if you've got an account and you subscribe to them, you get the reduced rate, so it comes down to like 50 or 55 pence a kilowatt or something. So I topped up, and it charged me 87 pence a kilowatt. 87, that's the most I've ever paid for a kilowatt. So that'll be added onto the complaint. You know, like I said, they've messed the account up. They've basically refused to arrange for me to pay them the outstanding balance. They've then done a rug pull, left me stranded, told me to have my vehicle recovered, and then when I have charged my vehicle up, they've charged me top dollar of 87 pence, even though I'm a member. Honestly, it's ridiculous. And like I said, I'd said to the guy, like, you know, you're supposed to be pushing this out there to all the Uber drivers, trying to get them on board, so everyone's like, do you know what, I'm going to sign up to Uber, pay £8 a month and use Uber charger points. I said, all you've demonstrated to me now is don't use BP because we're crap, basically. So that was about it. So yeah, I had a little bit of a top up. They came out late. I had to go and drop them off, 2 drops around Southport, drop the first ones off, and then I thought, I'll shoot down the coastal road to the other side of Southport to drop the others off. Got stuck in horrendous traffic. They've got some like food festival on in the park, stuck in all sorts of traffic there, and then I've just come over to McDonald's, time for a wee, and then I've just had to send out about 4 quotes. I've got like a bit of a regular customer. She's elderly, should I say. She's not the greatest on using computers and stuff, so I did send her the link for her to obviously get bookings and that online, but she was like, oh, I'm struggling with it. You know, I've made it as easy as I can. You know, you just put in the dates, the time, and it gives you a price. Are you happy? Yes, pay. So anyway, I've done that for her and sent it over to her. So as I've been talking, it's popped up on the notifications that she's happy with all that and she wants to go ahead and book it. So I've been sat here for like another 20 minutes or so, she wanted 3 different quotes for 3 different places she's going away to in the next 2 months, and also a quote for one of her friends as well. And again, I'm kind of thinking, can't you just send a link to your friend? But then I'm thinking, if she's kind of elderly and she's struggling to use it, it might be one of her friends from the bingo or something, maybe she's struggling as well. So I've done that, sent that over. So yeah, I'll reply to her now, and then I'll be jumping on Uber for a bit. So yeah, at a guess, I'll jump on Uber about 5 minutes time, so it's going to be about 3:45, and then I'll give you a little up. So I've done 1 hour and I've done 2 trips. First one was including a £2 tip. It was £8.63. It was a 6-minute job going 1.4 miles. So originally when I accepted it, because it was like £6.63, it's like £1 a minute, so it was quite good. That was just a little Southport to Southport. I then got a Southport down to Formby. I thought I'd take that because I might jump on the charger when I get down to Formby, because basically in Southport your 2 options for rapid chargers are at the McDonald's in Southport, which is the InstaVolt. During the day it's like 87p a kilowatt, so it's a rip-off. Plus if you go there you're then kind of forced to have a McDonald's, which I didn't really want to do. Or if you're in Formby, you're at BP. Normally it's free if the BP aren't messing me about with the card. But even again during the day it's still a rip-off. It's like 87p unless you sign up to like the £7 a month or whatever it is, and the rapid charges I think you get 20% off. It's still like 70 something pence, so it's still extortionate. But anyway, I took that job, and he gave me a £5 tip as well, so it was £13.02. It was a 13-minute job going 5.2 miles. And that's the only 2 jobs I've done, so that pretty much took me up to the hour. Let's just double check. Where was I? So I took that first job, that was at 10:02. So that job was done before 4 o'clock. I then didn't get my next job until nearly 4:15, and I dropped him off, and it was almost 4:30. And then I just drove over here because it was literally 60 seconds away from his house. So yeah, in theory, them 2 jobs realistically was 40 minutes. I didn't even do an hour, and then I just jumped on charge. I've just come off charge now, which I've been here for nearly an hour. So anyway, that 40 minutes thereabouts that I've done was £21.65. But bearing in mind, £7 of that was tips. So basically it was less than £15 an hour, which is shockingly bad considering it's a it's a Saturday. So yeah, just about to go back online now. I've got a full tank, so that should do me for the rest of the shift, unless anything major comes off. So yeah, I'll see what happens. So it's just coming up to 7:45. It's been 2 hours. It's been quite busy, to be fair. Where was I? First job. Is that it? Sorry. What was it? 17:45. Right, so first job was Southport to Southport XL. So there's people all coming out of the food festival thing that they were having in the park. It was £11.52. It was a 10-minute job and it was going 2.8 miles. So not too bad. As soon as I picked them up from Morrison's and pulled off, the next job popped up, which was another XL job, and it was back at Morrison's again. So I went and dropped them off, turned around, came back. It was quite funny, really. Like, I actually burst out laughing in front of the customer. So I pulled up and like there was loads of people there because obviously everyone's all waiting for taxis and all the rest of it. So he just kind of waved and I thought, right, okay. And then I seen two women walking kind of with them. They had prams. So I opened the door and I always get out straight away, walk around the back and open the boot, start putting prams and stuff in. So I was seeing like obviously just people climbing in through the side door, and then the first woman passed me a pram, so I put that in, and then I waited a second, the next one passed me the pram, I put that in, and then I heard the guy say, oh, I'll sit in the front. You know, so he comes around to me, passes me a few bags and that, so he's kind of helped me, and as I'm kind of putting them in, he's kind of like distracting me, like he's overly talking, and I was like, what's going on? Like, it was just, it stood out like a sore thumb. So he's talking, but it's like he's trying to get me to look the opposite way. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? So anyway, I look like over the headrest because I'm by the boot at the back, and I can see all sorts of heads in the back. Like straight away, it's definitely too many people in there, and that's without me even counting. So I said to him, I can only take 6 passengers, you know. And he kind of like looked at me like a hare in headlights. He was like, yeah, it's just a couple of toddlers. He said, you know, it'll be alright. I said, honestly, mate, I said, I'm only licensed to carry 6. I said, so I can't do it. And like, he hadn't even said how many people there was or anything, but I could just tell by the carnage in the back there was too many. So I shut the boot and I walked around to the passenger side because I knew people were going to start getting out. I got to the side door with him, I look in, and honestly, I burst out laughing. So in the back there's 5 seats. There was 5 adults sat in the back, and there was 4 children, 4 toddlers sat on their knees. The toddlers range from like, I don't know, 2 to 5 years old. So there was 9 people in the back and he was supposed to be getting in the front to make it 10. And honestly, like, why do people do it? And like, I stood there looking at them and I just burst out laughing because it was just so funny. It was like all the adults in the back were looking at me like naughty kids. They were thinking like, what's he gonna say? You'd be like, I don't know if they were expecting a kick-off. I don't know if they were expecting me to say, oh yeah, that's okay, don't worry about it, and shut the door. I don't know if they were expecting me just to burst out laughing. I was just like, that's ridiculous. Like, you know, I can't put 9 people in the back. It's got 5 seats. And he's like, oh, come on, mate. He said, you know, we're only going down the road. And I was like, I know you're literally just going a couple of minutes down the road, but I can get points on my license and everything. I said, it's not worth it. And he's like, oh, but you know, we've waited like 15 minutes, you know, for you to turn up, you know, because it's so busy. And I was like, I know. I said, I've just picked up from here, and the second I pulled off, your job come through to come back. I said, so I know it's busy. I said, but that is ridiculous. I said, it's dangerous for kick-offs, and if I get caught doing it, you're like, I'm going to lose my license. I said, and for what? You know, it's not like he's giving me 10 grand or something to drop him off. So he's like, oh, what do we do? I said, well, I can take 6 people. I said, so pick whatever 6 you want to go. I said, and then you'll just have to book another Uber. Just you'll get away with just a normal Uber X. So some of them start, you know, climbing out, and I think like 2 of the other blokes got out. Just like some of the kids and the ones that could walk, so they didn't have to get the prams back out and everything. Honestly, it was so funny. It was like, I'm kind of stood there and I can't really be bothered. My eyes are killing me because of my hay fever. And so that's why I kind of strolled around thinking, oh, what's going on? And then I looked to like these 9 people. Just looked back. It was like an Uber XL for 10 passengers. It was so funny. So anyway, I dropped them off. I That was £10, 10p, 10-minute job, going 2.4 miles. After that, it was a £7.60, 7-minute job, going 3.2 miles. And then I had, that was still within the hour as well, another £7, 5 pence. That was a 7-minute job, going 2.3 miles. So in that first hour, it was like 10, 20, 7, 28, 35. It's about 35, 36 pound. It's because of the XL job, you see, it makes it up quite quickly. And then going into the next hour, first job of that hour was another XL, 12.39. Again, Southport to Southport. That was a 7-minute job, going 3.9 miles. And then I had a couple of small ones, and that's because they were right next to each other. They like fell in line. So where I dropped off that other job, which was in Birkdale, a little job popped up, and the guy was basically just stood behind me. And that was £3.83. It was a 4-minute job. It was going 1.7 miles. So yeah, it's a tiny job, but it's £1 a minute. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to turn away a £1 a minute job, especially when the guy stood behind me. So then as soon as I dropped them off, came out of his little estate, I was driving down the road, kind of heading back to kind of like, you know, the inner of Southport, and then a job popped up that I was driving past, £4.56. It was a 4-minute job, going 1.6 miles. So I dropped there off, and then I've just got here now. I'm just quickly logged off to give you a bit of an update. That second hour was a little bit slower. What's that? Roughly 8. That was about £21 for that hour. So and then past 2 hours, it was £57, 5 pence. I've been offered 13 jobs and I've done 7 of them. So up to now, I'm on 3 hours in, and I'm on £78.70, which is coming out at about £26 an hour. So all in all, not too bad up to now. I just wish my hay fever would go away. It just proper does your head in as well. It'd be alright if it was a pain somewhere else in your body, but when it's your eyes, and obviously you need your eyes for driving. If you open the window, it seems to make it worse. But then obviously it's kind of a little bit stuffy. 17 degrees, but it's quite humid. But yeah, you crack a window and it's like blowing in your eyes. You put the aircon on, that seems to make it worse as well. So anyway, that's pretty much about it, to be honest. So I'll go back online now, and I'll see what's happening. Just see if this reservation job. See, these reservations, like, why does it even come up? So £8.16. It's a 4-minute job, going 1 mile. You think, that's not too bad. Where is it? It's in Warrington town centre. I went Southport. It's gonna take me like best part of an hour to get to Warrington. So like, why does it even show up? I don't know why they don't just show up to drivers who are within a certain proximity of Warrington. Maybe if you're in Warrington, it'll show you Warrington jobs. Or maybe if, I don't know, because obviously the system's quite smart, you would think, say I had a booking for Southport taking me close to Warrington, then that would pop up on my screen to say, would you want this little follow-on job, this little reservation job? But it's not. It just sends that out to everyone. Like I said, if you're within like an hour distance of that, it's going to send you that job. It's ridiculous. So going back online now anyway, and I'll update you in a bit. Hopefully I don't get any more 10 passengers. So another 2 hours has passed. It's now 10:15. Last update was 8:15. Let me just scroll back a little bit. It's been ticking over. It hasn't been too bad, to be honest. Where were we? 8:15. Right. So yeah, next job after the update was a £7.85. That was a 10-minute job, going 3.5 miles. And then a little £4.55. That was a 4-minute job, going 1.7 miles. I then had, including a £2 tip, a £6.93. That was a 3-minute job, going 1.4 miles. £6.94. It was an 8-minute job going 3.7 miles. Customer cancelled. Then had an £8.32. It was a 4-minute job going 1.3 miles. A £10.05. That was a 9-minute job going 3.5 miles. Had this job, picked her up from the pub. It was only a small job. It was like £3.50 or something because I was right next to her. And she said, "Oh, can I, when you drop me off, can I rebook you straight away?" I was like, "I mean, you can book another Uber, but I don't think you're going to get me." She said, "Oh, I just need to go home to feed the dog quickly and then come back to the pub again." So I was like, "We'll just add another stop." She was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't realise you could do that." So that turned into a £5.89. That was an 8-minute job going 2.3 miles. Dropped her off and then got another job which was just across the road, still in Churchtown, from another pub, £4.50. That was a 4-minute job going 1.5 miles. And then I've just done a little XL job then, from Lord Street, taking a group home. There's only 5 of them, £7.89. It was a 6-minute job going 1.8 miles. So when I logged off, it said in that 2 hours I was offered 17 jobs and I completed 9. And then it said, "Nice, you confirmed and completed 9 trips in a row." So in those 2 hours it was £62.92. So currently on 141.62. 62, and how many hours am I up to now? I'm on 5 hours. So currently on £28.32 an hour. So I think it's creeped up a tiny bit more from the last one. But yeah, all in all, that's about it really. Like I said, it's still ticking over. Jobs aren't too bad. You're getting some decent ones in between, like £10, you know, for like 1 or 2 miles. And then you get a little bit of a crap one, you know, £3.50, £4. Then it's kind of jumping around there, but yeah, it's averaging around £30 an hour, so can't really complain. It's not far off 10 o'clock now. I've got just shy of half a tank, so I don't know. Yeah, I might do another hour or two, just see how it's going really. Nothing really else other than that. I picked one woman up. She's definitely having an affair. She was must have been about 60. I turned the corner, she's like all flirtatious and everything, hugging this guy and all the rest of it. I just assumed I was picking this couple up. She opened the door, she just climbs on her own. She was like, "Oh bye," all like proper flirty. So I'm taking her over to Churchtown, and I was like, "Oh, have you had a good night? Or you having a good night or whatever?" And she looked at me with like kind of like cheeky eyes on her, like she was up to no good. And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's very well, thanks, and yourself," and all that. So then she phones her mate to say, "Right, I'm on my way over, I'm just in an Uber now." So then she gets off the phone, and then she then gets on the phone again, and she's like, oh, "Hi my dear, how are you?" "Yeah," she said, I'm just in an Uber now going to meet such and such. And then once I've been out, I'll check the train times to see what time I'm coming home." "Okay my love, I'll see you later." So who was the other guy? She was all over on the street, and then she's phoning her husband by the sounds of it, to say basically she's out with her mates around Churchtown. She's definitely not. So yeah, you get to see her all being an Uber driver, to be honest. But other than that, nothing really much has happened. I've just been pottering about, just kind of zoned out. So yeah, I'll see how it goes over the next hour. Getting a little bit hungry now, to be honest. I was dropping one guy off before as well, and he was like, instead of going all the way to mine, if you just stop short, it was like, I don't know, half a mile short of his house, if that. He said, "I'm going to jump out at Domino's instead." I had to pull up right outside the window while he gets out, and you open the back door and there's all the smell of all the pizza comes in. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I'm getting a bit hungry now, but yeah, I'll see what happens. If it carries on being around £30 an hour, of course I'll stay out. I'm not really gonna argue with that, but see what happens. So it's just coming up to 11:45. It's been another 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call it a night now, to be honest. Bit bored, bit tired, and I'm hungry. So where was I before? Last update was 9:45. Yeah, after that update, went back online, got an XL job, £7.93. It's a 5-minute job going 1.6 miles. Then had a £7.25. That was a 12-minute job going 4.9 miles. Then had another XL, Southport to Birkdale, £7.27, 4-minute job going 1.5 miles. I then had a £6.84, that was a 5-minute job going 1.4 miles. Then had apparently a surge job, £5.27, it's a 6-minute job going 2.1 miles. I don't know how that is a surge job because it's took longer to complete and it was almost identical to the job just before that. However, the job before that wasn't a surge and I got paid like £1.40 more. Then a little £6.52, that was a 4-minute job going 2.1 miles. And then I've just done another XL job, £11.18, it's a 10-minute job and it was 3 miles. So I logged off then, took a screenshot. So in that 2-hour period, well it was 1 hour 40 minutes to be honest, I was offered 27 jobs and I'd done 7 and I got £52.25 in those last 2 hours. So it's come down from, you know, the £30 an hour to what, about £26 an hour. So yeah, so basically I finished on 195.88 and I've done 7 hours, so it's a penny shy of £28 an hour. So yeah, not too bad to be honest, nothing really major. I could stay online and do a little bit more, but I'd have to get like a bit of a top up. I can't be bothered charging up again. Throughout the whole day I've averaged 3 miles per kilowatt, which is quite good considering I'd done that private job this morning, so there was a lot of motorway miles. But yeah, I've got about 28 miles of range left, so it's normally I'll run it down to about 20 and then that's when I tend to head home. But yeah, like I said, I just thought of being tired then and that made me yawn. I feel a bit tired, so I want to pick something up to eat and I'll head home. So yeah, I'll finish that there. Like I said, could go back on just as I come off then. There was some of the little jobs popping up. It was the first cash job that I've been offered tonight. He wanted picking up like 2 miles away. I think it was towards Ainsdale and taken to Formby. I think it was like a £14 or £15 job, cash. But yeah, I couldn't be bothered doing that because then I'm all the way down in Formby, and that's just taking me further away from mine. So yeah, that's about it. The confirmation rating on just on this shift alone has gone from like 8% up to 32%. That's no like reflection on me per se, that's just basically the jobs that I've been getting offered. The majority of them have been worth doing, so I've done them. Yeah, that's about it really. So I will I was going to say catch you on tomorrow's, but it's Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. No, possibly Monday. I've got a private job tomorrow, Sunday. Monday I might be out doing a little bit more Ubering than I normally would, but I'm not too sure yet. I'll let you know on that video.